and this is your seat at the table. As you can tell, that is also another attempt at a different entry, a new intro for the channel. I am working on different things. I'm trying to get the sound issue nailed down a little bit. And as I said before in a couple other videos, look, no offense to anybody. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's ears or feelings or whatever. But what you hear on your system and what I hear on my system, there's no way for me to know how you're going to hear something. I made this is a slightly different attempt at trying to record the music so it doesn't sound so blaring. It's also a little bit more milder take. I have to be careful because I'm not trying to stomp on any creative toes or to get copyright issues, which can crop up if you have to start some of these video or these audio clips and let them run a minute before you start recording, because somehow there's something coding or something in that first few seconds or so that allows the computers to tag them and know what they are. I mean, I don't know that 100%. Anyway, we are looking at Mechwarrior's Guide to the Clans. This was a late FASA product, and it came out probably that last year FASA was in business. Probably getting into one of the last supplements, source books that they created. It's also one that I missed. I didn't know this thing existed. I don't know if it just didn't make it to my game store that year and I never saw it, or it came and it went so fast I never saw it. But for whatever reason, I only recently picked this up, and I was actually damn lucky to get this off of eBay pretty cheap. And the fact it was still in, it looks almost new. I don't know that it's brand new, but that the fact it was available just was, peachy keen. I paid $25-$30 plus the shipping to get it shipped to me, right? And one of the things, it gives us another insight into clan life, the way clan operates on different levels, from a player perspective, from a role-playing game perspective, and it's just, it was enjoyable reading through it, and we'll read through it again over the years because there's so much in here that has yet to be absorbed or put into place. So Mechwarrior's Guide to the Clans, a little story there going on, the introduction. Is a comprehensive source book considering the descendants of Kerensky known as the clans for the Mechwarrior 3rd edition role-playing game, consisting of information that expands on several areas, specific clans only. And I don't believe I had the 3rd edition Mechwarrior rulebook. Once again, I was getting out of the game system at that point, or I just hadn't played a role-playing game and setting in it for so long that I didn't see the value in purchasing an updated rule set for it, and I just didn't get it. So we got character creation, traits, character names, blood names of the clans, skill sets, affiliations. Each clan has different attributes and negatives and positives that apply to the character creation stage of the character. Clan Snow Raven, Adder, Noble Cat, Clan Wolf in Exile, the Dark Quote Bandit case. We get additional paths, late childhood, advanced Simcoe events, stage 3, higher education, stage 4, real life. Goes on through the scientist case service, diamond shark warrior trader, dark case, cloister training, glass scorpion seeker, Tour Dirty Clan Shield liaison officer. Yeah, see, they touch a little bit on how you might be a failed mech warrior, and then you get subjected to the scientist case, but you're not just instantly become a scientist. You need to have some further education and things. So they talk about the next path being university, science case only, civilian job, nether dwell, science case service. So there's a number of different, technical college, technical case only. So there's obviously some advanced learning systems that are set in place for expanding these people's abilities. I mean, obviously you become a a top-notch scientist. It takes years of study and practical experience. So it's not something they obviously were geared toward or when they were training to be a warrior. See, Tour Duty Fire Mandrill Clashing Kindra, Tour Duty Harvest Trials, Hell's Horses Armored Warriors, Home Clan, Icelian Fury Unit, Nova Cat Combine Exercises, Character Creation, Sample Characters. We got some basic character sheets for genetic concepts. Give you something to work with. Something just, choose it if you want to just cut out all the middlemen. Just say, I want to be a reserve trader. Bang. Make a photocopy of it. All right, Proto Mechwarrior. Mixed opinions on Proto Mets. Not for them. No, sir. Just not really for them at all. And nothing against them, just not for them. Right? Proto Mechwarrior. Scientist Ambassador. Goes on. Get more information on clan life, the Kerensky cluster. We get to know that, Pentagon Wars, a number of the planets that we know of. And as I suspect, as I say this every time I see a star chart, I honestly believe that these are just the well-established, settled worlds, and that there are probably 2 or 3 times as many that are marginally settled or are settled for support purposes, as in for training reasons or for resource gathering, mining, that kind of stuff. But these are the ones that are considered, quote, settled, right? Then we have the outer deep periphery for the core section. Once again, I think this is great because we get a better detailed depth of this area between the Ionosphere and the Kerensky cluster. It's not by any means complete. I mean, there's literally tens of millions of possible planets out here, tens of thousands of stars, and then you have the other 75% of the deep periphery surrounding the Ionosphere that's basically untouched, and it's open sandbox for you and I to fill in the blanks, or someplace down the future down the road to be filled in. Clan eugenics and blood names. Frankly, if elements of Clan Wolverine, they did escape. They did make it to the Ionosphere, and we know that they did. And there was the Minnesota tribe, for example, has some brief encounters with the Draconis Combine before moving off. So what if that moving off part led them to the other side of the Ionosphere and to the far deep periphery, as far away from the Kerensky cluster as they could get. Right? There's a short story, somebody tuned me on to it, that Pardo did, and for the love of Pete, I can't get it. I went through about 5 different sources, and it's only in PDF format. It's definitely a short story, unless it was made as part of a shrapnel or something that is print. Catalyst isn't carrying it. No matter how I enter the search parameters for it, it doesn't appear. So Catalyst is no longer carrying it, for whatever reason, and I don't know how else to get it. I would love to read it, but it's just, some things are gone and you can't do anything about it. Clan eugenics and blood names, trial blood right, freeborn warriors and blood names, keepers, DNA repositories and chapels, the reaving, ritual trials and traditions, trial of grievance, various trial position and annihilation, the cult of Kerensky. Now, the traditional Terran religions play little role in clan life, but clans do maintain an almost religious reverence for Alexander Kerensky and the Hidden Hope Doctrine, his view of the vision of a triumphant clan return to the Ionosphere, which I question if that actually was nothing more than just something to give the SLDF forces some hope. But Kerensky ever intended for the clans to ever return to the Ionosphere. That's something Nicholas concocted, just like Nicholas concocted the clans. Alexander never envisioned the clans ever, no matter what they want to think, no matter how much they want to push it. So we got clan lifestyle, sports and games, lacrosse, football, morals, socials, morals, and taboos, and it just serves to show how different their society has been developed and molded to be different from everything that everybody was used to, as much as they could get it. Nicholas could push it. and he pushed it quite a bit. The clan government, various clan councils, clan lore masters, interplanetary travel and exploration. For the most part, the average clan lowercase people don't travel. Generally, maybe a handful of the scientist class might travel for work-related reasons or because they're made to by the warrior case. The merchants that are most likely to be traveling uh, because of the nature of what they do, but they are also highly monitored, heavily monitored by the warrior case, so on. The average clan citizen, if you will, the only time they ever go anywhere is when they're forced to do it. They're forced to be moved. They generally don't get to go on vacations to other worlds, kind of thing. And I seriously don't think that they do a whole lot of moving around on their individual worlds either. You know, don't get too far, too more than 20 kilometers from home, kind of thing. They have some freedom, but they are not at, as as free as the inner sphere citizens are in most houses. Law and order. This is some elements that was missing from my lexicon and my understanding of how some of this stuff worked for the clans. And so this is an interesting subchapter and chapter for me and I read it twice now, and I expect I will read it more in the past. Military politics, money, technology, military systems, molecular chemical engineering, medical technology, genetics, and we get into glossary terms and things like this if you need to know them. We have clan campaigns, running adventures with clans, intersphere adventures, wars of possession, research and diplomacy, dark case, campaign mechanics, etc., etc. A clan campaign is going to be slightly different, or a major difference from what. Oh, okay, the sun's starting to come out. It's starting to be a little less gloomy out there. Doesn't like jacking the humidity up though. All right. Anyways, a campaign set with all clan characters are going to be considerably different from an inner sphere campaign, in my opinion. I've never had the opportunity to try to run one or participate in one, so I can't honestly say one way or another if that's the way it would. If you hold the players to the concept of the clans, how the clans are functions, and you use the guides that are set down by the canon and the rule sets for that, then it's going to be a little bit different. Their needs, wants, and desires are definitely different from the inner sphere. See trial position, clan price guide, finding goods, the black market, negotiating prices, using NPC templates, clan non-player characters. So it's possible to have entire game campaigns set up in clan space related to clan business and never touch the inner sphere, never deal with the inner sphere at all. And that's kind of what this book is helping push forward. It's helping give you those tools to do that. So how to run vendettas, Mechwarrior rules, overview, getting started, behind the scenes, leading the scenes. So we got basically as a preset uh, already into a campaign of sorts, dealing with a vendetta, troubleshooting the pariah situation. Conspiracy revealed. So here, characters found been taken to a warehouse district labor quarter, apparently late enough for now to witnesses to be minimal. There they find the inner sphere ambassador, Katusha commander, and a well-known and much reviled bandit case leader are all engaged in a conspiracy aimed at getting hostilities between the clans and the inner sphere to flare up again. Although each of the conspirators despise the others, their collusion shows they all seem to be desperate men, willing to do whatever is necessary to start a war for their own ends. Right? So, and then we get a bit of go back here a little bit further, get past this. We get to a view of Katusha, however you want to count it, the clan capital, however you want to look at it. Katusha city map, various quarters, some of the stuff on the fringes, a little bit of flavor for it. Imagine society life in the clan world is going to be much different from the inner sphere, and yet some ways quite similar. Imagine if you really look at comparisons from the Conus Combine and how the majority of the population lives and operates in the combine, there's a lot of common ground between them and the clans. And then there's elements within the House Liao and things like their education, indoctrination system, and how their communication systems are heavily monitored and controlled, but also be quite common in the clans. And then the clans, of course, have their own spin on all of that. So it's definitely not a joy to be an average Joe or Jane growing up in the clan world. But if that's all you know, then that's all you know, right? Right on. So we got some other stuff here. I got that novel, got that novel. All right, other stuff. I'm going to be part of the Marauders Fastest official demo group, right? Yeah, that would have been interesting, but it is what it is. And so, like I said, so this has turned out to be a very interesting source book. I'm glad I was able to locate a copy of it and read it. It's given me some insights into some areas of clan life that I hadn't noticed or been aware of at that time. And the fact that I was even able to get it, not pay $70 for it or $100. Because I'm telling you right now, go eBay some stuff, go Google some stuff. Between Amazon, eBay, some of the prices that they ask is it's absurd. I mean, straight up. I was looking for when I first got tuned into Operation Klondike. Uh, I went and started looking for an actual hard copy, and they were wanting $600, $900 for an actual hard copy. And my first mind says, who the hell's got that kind of money to purchase that? So obviously somebody, they expect somebody out there will have deep enough pockets and are willing to, what's $600 to somebody who's got 20 million, right? And would actually pay that price, because obviously somebody's willing to pay the price, or they wouldn't mark it up like that. And B, somebody had the forethought of knowledge to do that. So if you think about that, if you have a little bit of resources and you could purchase 5 or 6 copies of these things when they first come out, knowing full well that they're not going to be, in the long run, they're going to be much harder to get, and if not impossible to get, then you can set the price and have a few to sell, and more than 10, double, triple, quadruple your money, or get a 600% markup, for Christ's sake. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Till next time, guys and gals, this is Rick, and I hope you guys have a great holiday weekend.